mentioned, you both kind of mentioned it, 25 people indoors. So are we opening indoor dining to 25 people?
Do you want to first
under
address
the,
and I'll
is that
follow
under
you
the
up.
loophole of the meetings can be 25 or fewer? Or can
I'll
you
let-
clarify that?
I'll follow up after.
So the clarification is, and let's call it, and I'm going to clarify, the question was regarding allowing the indoor dining at 25. Is that a loophole? Let's be clear, we're not triggering the virus here. But the science
The state
behind,
loophole, rather. You're right.
the science behind this is trying to keep gathering sizes small, traceable, keeping them low in terms of now indoor, right? Because we're in a place where the air exchanges, we want to make sure that we have fresh air exchange. That part of the area, and we talked about this last week, what is the number one behavior that's been identified? Not location, because people go all over when they say they ate out in the last 14 days, right? Is our taking off our face covering, sitting closer than 6 feet from someone who's not in our household. And that typically occurs in the dining experience. And so part of that is we want to be able to open up some indoor dining with some restrictions in the sense of for meetings, gatherings. And so it's kind of, think about it as a cruise ship dining method, right? You have a seating and that allows parties to come in, so your household could come and sit at a table. My household will be 6 feet away at a different table, and another household 6 feet away at a different table. We're trying to discourage you from bringing people outside your household to sit at your table. And that's what I'm asking our public to do because, again, that's where the risk of transmission is occurring. Whether it's a small social gathering that you hold in your house with people coming over for dinner, or you're at a bar or restaurant and you're doing that. It's the same behavior that's causing the transmission. And so, again, when you look at that, we're going to turn it over so that we've got fresh air exchange, the whole site gets sanitized, and then we can bring in the next seating. So the idea being to be able to, we know at this time, the whole methodology of the reason why meetings and gatherings were allowed was because they're typically short duration, right? They're not long periods of time. You're typically knowing, you have a sign-in sheet typically. If you're going to a business meeting, you know who's going to be there. You know how long you're going to be there. So in the event that there is an exposure that occurs, we can quickly contact trace that grouping and event. So I know there's been resistance in the past to make reservations. We understand that's time consuming, but we also know if this is the time of year where indoor dining and being able to be inside, it's a little chilly if you're outside underneath those tents with two sides up, but also the understanding the science is really on the air exchanges, the household seating, and making sure that you are separated from 6 feet from someone outside of your household.
So you're allowing indoor dining with these provisions in place now, or will?
Will. As of, really as of today, we met with our group and we will begin that process.